Hello everyone. In the last class, we have seen the syntax of the scanf and printf statements, and also we discussed about the output of the various fragments or code fragments, which were mainly useful for facing technical interviews. So after that, in today's class, we are going to discuss other control statements, go to, continue, break, after that looping statements. And also we discussed the switch statement in the last class. So after completing all these control statements, we will write the programs using Visual Studio Code. Now let us first start the goto statement. See, at the time of discussing the control statements, I said that the statements may be either conditional or unconditional. So goto comes under unconditional. It is unconditional. Not only goto, so we have break statement and also the continue statement. These two are also comes under unconditional. Now, the syntax of the goto we are going to write. The syntax can be written in two ways. One is for backward jumping and second one forward jumping. You can write either forward first or backward first. We will see first forward jumping. Forward jumping. The syntax for this is I am writing goto. Goto is the keyword. Don't give any space between go and to. Go to, and after that you mention constant, any label. Here you can use the constant and you can use the character, but or string that is treated as the label. Go to label semicolon, and here we have some statements. I assume that statement 1, statement 2, okay, dash dash. Now after this, we are having the label. Here you put colon, and here we have statement 3, statement 4, like this, and so on. Now, whenever the flow of control encounters the go to statement, go to label. So directly from this statement, the control is jumped to label, right? And it is going to execute the statement 3, statement 4, which are followed by label colon. And what about the statement 1 and statement 2, which are available between the go to label and label? These statements are simply skipped. These are not executed. You can ask one, sir, when these are not executed, what is the use of writing those statements in the program? No use. So that's why my suggestion for you is don't prefer go to statement while writing the programs, right? So the drawback is this. So that's why most of the programmers are not preferring the usage of the go to statement. Now after this is called forward jumping. So in example, if you want to say, you can write like this, go to, you can say like 10, or instead of saying 10, you can write go to some even. You can give any type of label name, and directly it jumps to go 10, the label 10 or label even, like this. And these statement 3, statement 4 are executed. So we are moving forward, jumping forward, or branching forward. This is called forward jumping. This is the syntax. Now we will see the syntax of backward jumping. Backward jumping. So here we write like this. First we are writing the label, and you keep colon, and we have some statements like statement 1, statement 2, and so on. Here we have go to label. Here you write colon. Here we have statement 3, statement 4, right? Every statement ends with semicolon here, right? So in this case, what happened? The control is started from here. First, we are moving to the label. Under this label, these two statements are there. These are executed as usually. After executing these two statements, we are moving to the goto label. Then directly it is jumped back to label. And again, second time the statement 1, statement 2 are executed. Again, we are saying goto label. Third time again it is moved backward. So this is one kind of repetition. So we are repeating the same kind of statements here. This is known as backward jumping. Now, what about the statement 3, statement 4? These statements are not executed. Every time we are moving back, depending on the situation. So this is called backward jumping. Now, after this, after go to statement, we go for the next unconditional statement, unconditional control statement, that is break. Why we use break statement? See, when we discuss the concept of the switch statement, switch, or we call it as switch case. Switch, you can say switch case. Both names you can write. In the switch statement, we have used the break. Why we have used in the break statement in switch? Why? Because to come out of from a particular case, to come out of from a particular case, or we can say to exit from a particular case, we are using the break statement. This is the first usage. And the second usage is we can use the break statement in loops, right? Any loop, it can be, we will discuss the loops soon. It may be while loop or do while, or it may be the for loop. We can also use in nested loops. When we use the break statement in loops, then this break statement simply exits or it terminates the loop. It terminates the loop. To exit from a loop, we use the statement break. But the important thing you have to note is the break statement should be used in connection, should be used in connection with if. So if you don't use the if, then break cannot be used. Why? Without see, you have to write the break statement by using if in connection with if. Total if and break should be in the loop. Then only the loop will be terminated or exit. You can exit from the loop by using the break statement, which is used in association with the if statement. So in one sentence, I can say that the break statement can be used either in switch statement or looping statements. So whenever you use the break statement in a switch, it exits from a particular case. Whenever you use break, but don't use a single break in the looping statements, the break statement must be used in connection with the if. If and break must be present in the looping statements, then only the loop can be terminated. So that is the main use of the break statement. After break, next we move for the syntax of the break statement is simply break. That's all. This is a simple syntax. Now we are moving to the continue statement. So continue statement is similar to break, but the thing is the continue statement is not used in the switch statement. The continue statement only used in the looping statements, but similar to break, this continue also should be used in connection with if. Now, I said that the break statement is used to exit from a loop, whereas the continue is going to send the control in the middle of the execution or in the middle of the loop to the beginning of the loop. So what I want to say is the continue statement must be used in connection with if some condition and we are writing continue, right? But this entire block should be within the loop, right? So assume that if some condition and we are writing continue and here we have some statements like this, 3 lines indicates some statements. So here you write if some condition some statements and if condition continue. So in this case what happened, whenever this continue statement is encountered, the control directly jumps to the beginning of the loop without executing these three last statements. To send the control in the middle of the execution in a loop to the beginning, then we have to use this concept of continuous statement. I think it is understood to you, right? So this is about the go to statement, break, and continue. After this, we are going to discuss about the looping statements. Looping statements. So how many types of looping statements are there? There are three types of looping statements. One is while and second one is do while. After that, for loop. First, we will see while, the syntax of the while. Next, we will see the syntax of the do while. Next to for. After that, we will see some example programs by writing C programs. Now, we will see the syntax of the while. So first, before going to see the looping statements, what actually mean by the looping? Looping is also known as iteration. Iteration. We can also use another name, repetition. Repetition, both are same. What is looping? The process of repeating the same kind of statements or the process of executing the same kind of statements. You can write in one word that the process of executing same kind of statements, same kind of statements repeatedly. That is called looping. Okay. Iteration is also same thing, right? Now we will see the syntax of the while. Syntax, I'm writing. Just you write the word while, which is the keyword. Everything must be written in while, and here we are writing some expression, or we can say the condition, opening brace, and some statements. We can write statement 1, statement 2, and so on, or simply we can write the statements. This is the syntax of while. First, the flow is entered to the while and it checks the expression, or it may be the condition. If the expression is true or the condition is true, then we are going to execute the statements. After executing the statements, whenever it encounters the closing brace, then it sends the closing brace again back to the condition of the while. Second time, again, this condition is tested. Okay. And if the condition is true, again the statements are executed. Again, it is moved back to the expression or condition. Again, the condition is tested. The statements in the while are executed as long as the condition is true. As long as the condition is true. When the statements within the while are not executed, when the condition becomes false, the statements are not executed. So we will see more examples in the coming sessions. This is simple syntax of the while. Now, after this while, next we move to the do while. The syntax of the do while is like this. First, you write the keyword do and you write opening brace and some statements, semicolon, and last you write the keyword while, and here you mention expression or we can say condition, both are same. Simply we use condition or expression, a condition. Mainly we prefer condition. Now, so in this syntax, what happened first? The flow of control starts from do. Do means go and execute. So go to these statements are executed. Next, after this, we are moving to the while, and within the parenthesis, we are checking the condition. Here, the semicolon is must. Please remember. So when the condition is true, what happened? It is trying to come down, but here there is semicolon. If there is no semicolon, the control just comes down to these kind of statements. But here semicolon is there. So that's why the semicolon here is must. The semicolon simply sends the control to do. It sends the control back to do. And again the statements are executed second time. Again the condition is tested. Again, if it is true, then the semicolon simply sends the control to back to do. So like that, these statements are repeatedly executed like while as long as this condition is true. Now you can identify some major difference between while and do while. What is the main difference that you identified? See here, in the while, first we are checking the condition, like we have seen this, right? In the while, first we are checking the condition, then only we are executing the statements. But if you observe do while, in do while we are not checking the condition. First we are executing, entering into the statements, and we are executing. So after executing the statement, then we are checking the condition. If the condition is false, the control is not returned back to do. Okay, in do while, even though the condition becomes false, at least the statements in do while are executed, but this is not the case in while. Please remember that in while, the statements are executed, the statements within the while are executed only when the condition becomes true. But in do while, without checking the condition first, we are executing the statements. And if the condition is false, then the second time the statements will not be executed. But at least one time the statements in do while are executed, but this is not the case in while. Now, after this, we are going to see the syntax of the for loop. Now, the syntax of for loop is given as for. First, we are mentioning initialization, semicolon, condition, or we can say expression, condition, in next semicolon, two semicolons. Here we can use incrementation or decrementation, or increment or decrement. Incrementation or decrementation, both are same. So right parenthesis, don't put semicolon after right parenthesis, opening brace, and we have some statements, closing brace. If you put semicolon, what happens that we will see after the right parenthesis or before, or we can say after while, if you put semicolon, what happens that we will see. So don't put semicolon as per the syntax. Now in this case, what happened? First we are entering into the first the initialization is done. First time the initialization is done. After initialization, we are moving to the condition. We are testing the condition. If the condition becomes true, then it enters into this block. We say this block simply body of the loop. These statements are executed. Now, after executing this statement, the closing brace simply sends the control to whom? Incrementation or decrementation. After this operation is performed, then we are going for the condition. Second time, we are not going for the initialization. Only first time we are performing the initialization. Next, we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, we are executing the statements. And after that, we are moving to increment or decrement operation. We are performing required operation, and after that, we are checking the condition. Again, if second time, if the condition is true, then we are moving to statements. We are repeating the statements. Execution is done second time. Now again, it moves back to increment. Again, condition is tested. Like while the statements within the for are executed as long as the condition is true. When the condition becomes false, this block is not executed and the control is passed to the statements which are outside the for loop. This is a syntax. We will see more example C programs using while, do while, for. So while writing the programs, I will explain each and every statement in detail. So let us have the execution of C programs using Visual Studio Code. So first we write the program using goto statement. Next we go for a switch statement also, we will switch program also we will write. After that, the programs for the looping statements that we will see. Now we will see C programs using switch statement. So let us go to Visual Studio Code. So first I'm going to write the program using switch statement. Next we move to goto statement and remaining control statements, right? So let us write the program using switch statement. So program to implement switch statement. You can write parenthesis or no need statement. Okay. Now as we know that the first statement we are going to write is hash include stdio.h. Okay, int main opening brace Right. Within this opening brace and closing brace, we will take some variables. So when we discuss the syntax of the switch statement, if you observe that syntax, we have written in the syntax that switch in bracket integer expression. Don't give any type of float expressions. Whenever you evaluate the expression, that expression must result an integer value. Then only it is valid. Now we are taking integer choice, a variable I'm taking choice, integer choice, right? Now you say printf, I'm writing enter your choice slash n, right? After that, read the choice scanf, just wait, scanf in double quotes percentage d ampersand choice. You read the choice, okay, semicolon. Now, after reading the choice, what you have to do is, now you write switch. Switch, we have written that switch in bracket integer expression. Just I'm writing here is choice. Now, after switch choice, don't write semicolon. Why? Because whenever you write semicolon, simply it stops the control. Okay, if you want to enter into the switch block, don't write the semicolon there. Now, I'm writing the switch block here. In the switch block, what you have to do, as per the syntax, we have said that case. The keyword here you have to write is case. Case label 1 or constant 1. Here we are writing the case constant 1 colon, right? Case 1 colon. And in the next line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write like this printf I am in case 1. I am in case 1. Now I'm writing slash n, right? You can ask one doubt why we are writing slash n. We are writing slash n to move the cursor to the next line. So first in the case 1, we are printing I am in case 1, right? After printing I am in case 1, the cursor remains only on the same line. If you want to move the cursor to the next line, we are using slash n. We call it as new line character. So after this, I am writing the break statement. I will explain when you don't write break, what happens, that we will see. Case 1, printf I am in case 1, break, right? Like this, you can write any number of cases. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy this. Here I'm writing Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Now, I'm going to do some modifications here. Okay, we will see. Switch choice, case 1, and we have written I'm in case 1. Now, case, this I'm changing it as the, case 2. I am in, just you do some modification, I'm in case 2, and this is case 3. Case 3, here I'm changing it as I'm in case 3, and here I'm writing case 4. I am in case 4 here. Now, after this, break. After case 4, here I'm writing case 5. Case 5. Here I'm writing I'm in case 5, break. And the law, like that, you can write any number of cases. But in our program, we have written 5 cases: case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. So I thought that the enough 5 cases are enough, and the last case I'm writing default. Printf I am in default case. Or I can say I am not in any case. I am not in any case. Just I'm writing like this. I am not in any case. See, after printing I am not in any case, here break statement is not required. See here, break, you can write break, but it is not required. Why? Because so whenever we encounter the closing brace, here this closing brace, it indicates that we are going to terminate the switch block. So without break also directly you can go to the closing brace. It indicates that we are going to terminate, right? So whenever you reach the destination, already you are in off state. Whenever you are in off state, no need of using break. If you use break here, no problem, but it is not required. So if you write break, it shows your ignorance, right? Please remember that no need of writing the break statement after the default case. See how many cases I have written? 5 cases. If the entire entered case is not in any these five cases, then automatically it jumps to default case, and we are going to get the output as I am in default case. So let us save this program and we will see the execution part for this. First, we will check any errors are there. Now, just I'm running this. You see, it is asking enter your choice. For example, I'm giving 9. So whenever you give 9, so I think you can expect the output is I'm not in any case. Why? Because 9 is not matching with case 1, case 2, or case 3, or case 4, or case 5. So directly it jumps to the default case and we are going to get the output is I'm not in any case. So what is the output we are getting? I'm not in any case. Now let us go to the program, and in this what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if I don't use the break statement, what would be the output. Okay, so second time I will run the program and I will give the correct case values. That also we will see. Previously I have given 9, so what is the output we got? I am not in any case. So in this case, assume that I am giving the input 3. Whenever you give the input 3 or choice 3, the switch sends the control to case 3 and you are going to get the output as I am in case 3. You see, I am in case 3, right? So here, I think in the program you have used the cursor, right? Why the slash and character? Why? Because after entering your choice, so the cursor is placed here. To move the cursor to the next line to print 3, we are using slash n, right? Now we will see what happens when we don't write break. What happens when we write break? For example, I'm removing this break. Actually, you have to write the break, but I'm removing the break voluntarily, right? Break. Here also I'm removing the break. Okay, next here also I'm removing the break. You can remove the breaks, right? Next, here also I'm removing the break. Just we are checking what happens when there is no break. Now you execute. Here what happens, I will explain. See, for example, from the input, if you give the input 3, so which case is matched? Case 3 is matched. Now in the case 3, it is going to say I am in case 3. After printing I am in case 3, it is not coming out of the case 3. Directly it goes to case 4 and it prints I am in case 4. Even though there is no match, it prints I am in case 3, I am in case 4, I am in case 5, I am. So default option is I am not in any case. Everything is printed. So let us see what happens. So it is asking enter your choice. I'm giving which, for example, I'm giving the choice 3. You check. If you observe this, it is printing I am in case 3, I am in case 4, I am in case 5, I am not in any case. All the cases it is going to print. Why? Because we have removed the break. So the main use of the break is to exit from a particular case. So out of multiple choices, we want to select only a particular choice. So that's why there is a need to write the break statement at the end of each and every case. But no need of writing the break statement at the end of the default. Why? Because already we are writing the closing brace which indicates the end of the switch. Then no need of writing break. So this is the program for switch statement. So with this, I'm going to close the session. So in the next class, we are going to see more programs using goto and looping statements. Thank you very much for watching.